Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Chris Haskins. Today, whenever you're going to see this, we are going to be talking about how to make offers to sellers when we're buying fix and flip properties. These are properties that we want to go in, buy them low, renovate them, and sell them for fair market value. We're going to get into some numbers so you know exactly what to do when you're out there in the field so you can make your offers intelligently and know exactly what you're doing when you walk into these things. Is that okay with you? And I want to thank my beautiful daughter for working with us this evening. Thank you. Can everybody hear me? I just want to make sure I'm clean and crispy. I paid a ton of money for this software. Somebody let me know in the chat. Let us know in the chat if this thing is working. Somebody just say, hey, I can holler if you hear me. Holler if you hear me. If you can hear me tonight. So talking about making offers. It has come to my attention that from coast to coast, there's this emotional, kind of empathetic, kind of sympathetic feeling that some people get, especially as new investors. They offer too much for real estate. Can you hear me? If anybody hears me real clean, we're clean. I'm noticing that people are just, first of all, we don't know what to offer, right? So tonight, I forgot. I'm Chris Haskins. I'm going to be your pilot for this evening. It's just me and my daughter tonight. I felt compelled to come on to help raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship because I'm seeing so many of us make these mistakes paying too much. How many deals have I had to come in and scoop from somebody else because they paid too much for the property? How many times does somebody have to unload a property? I'm hearing this, believe me, y'all, I get these calls every day. Every day somebody calls me and talks about a piece of real estate that they shouldn't have bought. You know, we do so much. We will climb Mount Everest to get into a deal, right? Isn't that what we do? We do the application, we save up a down payment, we go out there, have our credit straight, we have the contractors come in, we negotiate the deal, we pay closing costs, we do all this stuff to get into the house. And then once we get into it, we're like, you know what? I don't know if I should have bought that house. Perhaps I should have stayed away from buying that one or I should have possibly not bought that property there. And if you haven't registered yet, there's a link in the video description for my subject to lease option 3-day virtual workshop. We're going to be starting here in a few weeks. It will be an honor to have you there so you can learn how we do creative deals. How do we buy real estate without going to the bank? That's what that training is for. So you can get registered up. The early registration is still open. Super early registration is closed, but early registration is open. How are we looking? So please put questions in the chat. So I want to know what you're thinking. Let's talk about fix and flip real estate. What is the main goal of fixing up? We want to buy low. What's up?
Somebody said, Ramon Preston said,
Ramon.
My brother.
Peace, my brother.
Thanks for everything you do. Prayers for you.
Oh, yeah, my aunt died. So many emails. Thank y'all. I forgot. Yeah, my aunt passed away. Went to the funeral. You guys really do pour into me. That's why I do this stuff, right? If you really want to show some appreciation, there's a link, right? There's another link that says join. Become one of our channel members. You get all of our pre-recorded videos first. So all of our channel members, they get released to you first, all of our videos. You get to see them a day earlier, right? Especially with the Dame Dash. And that was cool, right? So there's a link right there that says join. It helps me to continue to bring content. And it's only going to cost you a large Starbucks coffee a month. That's it. To help support the channel as much as I do. I prostitute my body, throw my back out. I went to the chiropractor today. I got a massage. I'm trying to figure out that he's showing me my spine. I got spurs in my spine, arthritis. I'm like, I've prostituted my body for y'all. Okay, so fix and flip property. Questions will be at the end. Put your questions in. Morgan will read them out after once we get done with the training. So we're buying low, fixing up and selling high. Now, before you can buy anything, you must know what you can sell it for, y'all. You got to know what you can sell it for. And what is that? It's going to be an ARV. Now, I know a lot of y'all are like, I already know that stuff, man. I already know that. I already know. There's a thing that I coined, I already know itis, right? So a lot of us think we're going to do, the old way was 70% minus repairs, right? That's 70%. We'll get into the old way. I'm going to show you how I do it. And now I want to preface this by saying everybody does it differently. But you better have enough room in these things so you can't do a fix and flip for $10,000 to $20,000 because 20 can turn into 15, 10 can turn into 5 regarding your profit. So before you know what you can buy for, you got to know what you can sell it for. That's going to be an after repaired value. So for our example today, our after repaired value is going to be $300K. All right. Now, that's my phone. My phone over there, Morgan? Right to your right. Thanks. Now, generally speaking, what we used to do back in the day, we would take 70% of 300,000. That's gonna be 210. So we'll get to that. All right. ARV, after repaired value. I'm not even going to write it out. You can go back to the channel and get a bunch of videos on that. The next thing we have to know is going to be our reno. Let me switch markers here. You got to know your reno. Now, excuse me. Thank you, buddy. In our market here in the Virginia Beach area, a standard renovation is costing $60,000 to $80,000. That's going to be a basic, not doing nothing but kitchen, roof, windows, siding, flooring, 2 bathrooms. That's 60 to 80 grand. So your reno. So we're going to just use a number here. Let's say 70 grand for our example here. Is that okay? Now, once again, the reason I'm doing this video, I see so many people overpaying for real estate. You're going to hurt yourself in the long run. All right. Next thing we got to know is hard cost to sell. Hard / cost to sell. Hard cost. Now, here's the problem. Here's where I see a lot of people getting tripped up. You got to know this stuff. If you're selling a house for $300,000, y'all, if you're selling a house for $300,000, off the top, realtor fees are what? Somebody put in the chat. If you're selling, I'm not even gonna say.
Sandra,
put the chat.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. No, put the questions in the chat too. What are the realtor fees if you're selling a product? So we're buying to fix up and sell, right? First of all, we're going to get into a little bit of negotiation, but this is buying real estate to fix up and sell, fix and flip. What are going to be realtor fees on a $300,000 house off the top? Yeah, somebody put it in. How much is that going to be? Somebody put that in. How much are realtor fees right there on $300,000? They put that in the chat yet, Morgan? Nobody put it in? Y'all got to talk to me. Y'all got to have me in by myself.
Some said 6%.
6%. That's right. 6%. And what is that? What's 6% of 300,000? 6, 12, 18,000, y'all. There is no way around this. This is just what it is. Now, you could be a realtor yourself. You could list it yourself, or you could be like us and use a flat fee broker. However, don't always bank on that happening in every market. You might not have a flat fee broker. A flat fee broker is somebody that's going to list your property for a discount. We pay her off the top. Boom, you get $1,000 or whatever you're going to pay just to put it on the MLS, because that's really all what I don't want to say all. Generally speaking, that's the majority of the work. They're putting it on the MLS, right? So off the top. Now, don't forget, we've got cost of the money, right? Interest. We'll get to all that. We're going to break this down in a minute. Maintenance, utilities, taxes, closing costs. Now, if you're new to the business, you may not understand that we have to pay money to buy it and we have to pay money to sell it. You're talking about $5,000, right? Just for me to buy a house cash is $3,000. I mean, this is what it is.
Veronica C.
No question. Don't put we'll do the questions at the end. You can put your questions in, but we'll answer them at the end for all of our YouTube people that'll be watching later. I don't want to stop it. Put your questions in, and Morgan will ask them at the end. Is it a question? Oh, what'd she say?
She said, "Hi everyone from CA."
Oh, California. Yeah, put your city in. I want to know what your name and city. Where you coming from? All right. Realtor fees, closing costs. C. Did I miss anything? Realtor, interest, maintenance, utilities, taxes, closing costs, all this stuff. All right. You have to include all that. Now, some people do. Remember at the beginning we did more or less. We'll come back to that. So we're doing all of this roundup, homies, to find out what our MAO is, our maximum allowable offer, what we can offer the seller. How much can we offer them? I know you guys are paying crazy numbers. All right. You can tell I get emotional with this stuff. Where's my green pen?
Someone from St. Louis.
St. Louis. So, and then we want to have a profit. All right. Now, before we can determine what our profit is, let's add up. Let's add up where we are so far. Interest, let's say interest is going to be $5,000. Usually speaking, hard costs and cost to sell are going to be 10% of your deal, 10 to 11%. All right. So
I might say 6%.
that was realtor fees. Hard costs. Let's come here. Hard costs are going to be, I'm going to go low, 10% of your deal. What's 10% of 300,000 more? What's 10% of that? 30,000. You got to know these numbers, buddy. 30,000, okay? This 10% equals 30K. Y'all, it costs you, if we didn't even get to the buy. Here's what happens in real estate. Y'all know real estate is cyclical, right? So before the craziness with 2000, we were paying closing costs for our buyers. That was tacking on another 3%. Now those days will come back. They're not here right now. But let's just say on an average, you're going to pay $30,000 just to get out of this deal, y'all. That's what it's going to be. I mean, it's just what it is. So when you're making offers to sellers, you're just raising your price up and you're just destroying all your profit, okay? Now, we have a whole lot of ways to mitigate a lot of this stuff, but I'm talking about hard money guys and using regular bank financing. All that stuff takes into account, but for generally speaking, you're going to spend, it's actually more than that, but I'm just going to say 30 for this deal here. Okay, now, if the house is worth 300, right? And it needs 70 on the reno, and you're spending 30 in fees, you're already at $200,000. Okay, that's without any profit and without giving the seller anything. Okay, I need you to follow me. What is worth minus reno minus hard costs. We got to manage your profit out. All right, now, so let's just say this particular deal here, you want to make 40 grand, which is no big money. Now when you're explaining this to homeowners, when they see you making 40,000, they're like, "Oh, Derek, Chris, you're making 40,000." Yeah, but it's going to take me 6 months to do the deal. A lot of renovators and new investors think, well, I'm going to have this deal done in 2 months and I'm going to be out of it in 3 months. See, here's the problem, Roundup homies. Here's the problem, my real estate family. Even if I were to finish the house today, the reno, even if I got a buyer tomorrow, it still takes them 45 days for their loan to be processed. It's going to take some time. So you're a month and a half in interest and taxes and insurance and all that. You're a month and a half out, even if you sell the house tomorrow, okay? So a lot of us think we're always going to be under budget. A lot of us think we're going to finish faster than we we do. And it's just not the case. Things always cost more. Things always take longer. All right. Get your questions in the chat there for Morgan to ask. How are we looking on time, Morgan?
It's 8:19.
8:19. Okay, cool. We got a few more minutes. We're not going to be here long. So let's say minimum we want to make profit there, y'all. So what will our maximum allowable offer be on this one? What will our offer be? If it's worth 300, I'm going to back out 70 on the reno, 30 on hard costs, 40 on the profit. Okay, so what is that? That's 100 minus that. That's going to be 160. Is that right? 160. I would much rather this be 50, but y'all get the. See, I mean, if you're going to put out. Okay, so our max offer needs to be 160. Then let me show you where the problem is where most investors get in trouble. They use the 0.7 example, right? So let's go ahead and do it. See what that is. It's 300,000.
It's 225.
225. 300 minus 200 minus 40. Did I miss something? 300 minus 70 and 30 is 200 minus 40 is 160. 300 minus.
But somebody else.
That's 160. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So here is where people get in trouble. I don't want this for you because we're.
You said you wanted to ask questions at the end.
Yeah, just put your questions in the chat, and then Morgan, you can ask them after I get done with the quick training.
Okay.
You got me, buddy? All right. So what most people do is 300,000 times 70%. That's 210. And then they take out the repairs. So let me show you what most people do. They take the ARV, they go times 0.7 minus reno. Let me show you what the problem with that is when you get into bigger houses. Let's say 300,000 times 0.7 minus 70. This equation here, a reno. Well, I'm sorry, the renovation, which was 70. So they got 300 times 0.7 minus 70K. That's going to give you 140K. All right. Y'all, this 140K is just too low. Now, even if you put out 50, bringing out 50 is cool. Even if I put 50 on a profit, we're going to be at 150. Now you're at 140, 130. This is where you're getting, your offer is going to be too low, right? It's the numbers. Yes, you're using hard money, but you're getting killed by other people that don't have to use hard money. So just keep that in mind. Now, you cannot stray. You cannot stray. Some people are saying, well, damn, the house is worth 300,000. Why do you have to offer 160? That don't make no sense to me. We got interest. That's another 5,000-6,000. We got utilities every month. We've got taxes. Don't forget, taxes are going to be $300-400 a month. As long as you hold the property, you got to pay taxes on it. We've got closing costs to buy and to sell. One thing I missed over here. We got insurance. Don't forget, in the summertime, maintenance is a monster. You got to cut the grass, you got to trim the hedges, you got to make sure the shrubs are pushed back, all that stuff. So 140, y'all, it's going to be too low. So just build what we do. And once again, I'm just one guy. How many of y'all know that the NFL has a whole bunch of different teams, and every one of those teams has a head coach, and every head coach has a different strategy for their team, and they have different tactics that they go in and do. So this is just how we do it, and it's worked for me. I used to do 0.7, but then I kept getting beat out. My offers were too low. So if I build in my profit first, there's a book. I don't know if Elon Musk, somebody wrote this book called Profit First. Put your profit in there, y'all. So we want to make 40. I would like to make 50, but for our example here, it's gonna take me 6 months to make this 40 grand. So what's 6 divided by? So that's what? 4. 6, that's 5. That's like 6,000 a month. And that's fixing and flipping a few houses a year will not make you rich or wealthy. It may provide a cool lifestyle, but you're going to have to do some volume in order for you to really see the effects of this stuff because you still got taxes. I got to pay taxes on that 40, right? All right, so you cannot offer any more between 150 to 160 on this property, y'all. You just can't do it. And I see people do it all the time. Why should I be giving you this house for such a cheap price when it's worth 300? And the final thing that we don't consider when we're making these properties is something that a lot of us, we don't even talk about. I don't know why we don't talk about this stuff. It's called life energy. Life energy, y'all. But your questions in the chat, I'm just about done. I just wanted, I had to go over how we doing this because people, y'all making these offers and it's just insane, yo. It's insane. I'm seeing this stuff. It's not here, just here in Hampton Roads. It's everywhere. Life energy, y'all. Life energy. You got to think about when you're fixing these houses up. How many times do I have to go back and forth to the property? How many times do I have to deal with the lender on this, getting money transferred, moving money around? How many times do I have to deal with the main general contractor? How many times do I have to deal with the subs? How many times do I have to go to Home Depot or Lowe's or some store to pick up materials? How many times do I have to deal with the crazy neighbors? How many times do I have to deal with the people cutting grass? How many times do I have to go? You see how this works? You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of interactions that you're going to be dealing with this during this one. This is just one. And not to mention, we got 4 going right now, right? This is just one. As I'm going, I'm on day 14 of my cleanse. I'm doing a cleanse, eating crazy stuff, and I'm noticing it keeps my mind sharp. I get to pontificate and think about different things. I'm like, this takes a lot of life energy just to keep myself on this cleanse. I got to really think about what I'm doing, what I'm putting in my mouth, where I'm going shopping, what stuff am I buying for the body. So life energy, y'all. Think about this. Hundreds of interactions. What is that worth to you? Some people say, well, I just want to make 10 grand. Well, when we go to sell it, don't forget, markets change, and everybody knows this is an election year, so we don't know where it's going to happen. Is it going to be this guy, that guy? Who knows? Okay, so when you're making your offers, y'all, you can't underpay. That's going, you're going to lose the deal, right? But overpaying, I would much rather the best deals in real estate are the ones you don't do. Okay, I would much rather you say, Chris, I can't find a deal than get into a bad deal. All right, get your Q&A in real quick. Morgan, you can scroll up to the top. We're going to answer questions. And I just want to thank y'all for your attention. Get registered right now. It's the link's in the video description. If you're not on our email list, that link is also in the show notes below. I would love to stay in touch with you for our question of the day. Some good stuff. I don't know.
Okay, because she was here before the live even started.
What's the question? Y'all say thanks to Morgan, too. Y'all want to see Morgan? All right, come on now. What are the questions we got?
Wish to pick your brain. What's your take on those share purchases to properties like
share purchases? Okay, so you're talking about, what's the name? Mitchell Gray? That sounds like a stage name. So some people, my mentor did this. Say you got a house. Just imagine a house. It actually is nothing but a piece of stock, like at the stock market. You got 100 shares. So some people will buy 20% ownership in that property, and they'll get 20% of the dividends, aka rent or whatever the income the property produces. So do I do that? No. And what you can do is you can buy and sell shares. I mean, it's so cool, man, how you can do that stuff. But I think it works, but we don't do that. Next, buddy.
Okay, they said, Mitchell Gray said, they sound a bit too good to be true.
Oh, this is the same thing. They're talking about the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Good question, though, Mitchell. Boom, boom, boom. No questions today?
The CEO said.
What up, the CEO?
Connecticut. No,
oh, you're in Connecticut. What up? What's going on, brother?
Nationwide wholesaler.
Disposition?
Yeah, manager.
Oh, he's a dispo manager?
Yeah.
Okay. No questions?
And then said,
this stuff's pretty cut and dry, man.
Choir Bell said, what software are you using to get your leads, and what type of leads are you pulling?
Come on in.
You feed the dog?
We'll feed him. Who asked that question?
Choir. Yeah.
Choir?
Choir.
Kyer? Okay, Kyer. We don't pull lists. I don't do cold calling. I want everybody to know that we tried it. Didn't necessarily. You do get leads, but it's just not our thing. So we do internet marketing, and we have an internet marketing campaign that we bring all of our leads in. So not all. We do some direct mailing, but the main platform, Kyer, is internet. So what I'll do, if you go back to my last video, I have what I call them as my geek squad. They do all that stuff. They send the leads right to my email. So at the end of this video, I'll come back. If you come back, I'll put the link to my geek squad in this show notes right below the join the email. You can reach out to them, and don't reach out to them unless you have a budget. Right? You're gonna spend some money. We spend $5,000 to $6,000 a month on leads. Okay. I'm not saying you need to spend that much, but yeah, I'll put the link to my geek squad in the show notes after this.
Okay, so Jason B said,
Hey, Jason B.
It amazes me what I see people pay for auctions.
Oh, for auctions. Okay.
They pay 10% of the sale price as fee.
Oh, wow. Educating. Think it was Jason. Jason, yeah. Auction fees 10% on 300,000. So we got to add that in over here. That would be closing costs, right? You got closing costs. You got to add another. That'd be 40 grand. Your fees to do that deal would be 40 grand, Jason. You're right. I don't know how people, man. I'm telling you, people, companies, realtors, lenders, all these different things are squeezing all the value out of real estate. It's not the same like it was before, y'all. A lot different. Go ahead, Mowgli. Acti.
I don't know. Acti.
Huh?
703.
Acti 703. What up? It don't matter. You can mess it up, Morgan. They still love you.
How do you find your deals?
I have a geek squad, and what I'll do is I'll put the link in the show notes if you want to get in touch with the people with my team. We can do them for you. It's going to cost you roughly, I think we're paying between $250 and $300 a lead, right? So that gets us whatever amount of leads a month. I'll put that in here after. It's not there. I have to come back and do it later. Go ahead, buddy.
Ramon Preston said, in your dispo station, are you doing more contracts for deeds or leases? Lease
options. We're doing about both. I've got 1, 2, 3. The majority of our dispositions are fix and flips because I got to keep the money working. Like when you have, there'll come a point where you have capital, right? Say you got $1 million. You have to keep that money working for investors. Houses coming in, going. You got acquisitions, you got dispositions, you got selling, coming and going, construction. So I have to, y'all, I don't really get too detailed about this, but I have this excess of capital that I have to continually feed, right? Because these are regular people. They're looking for a return on their money. So eventually, maybe we will put that into some long-term holds, but I'm doing all three: fix and flip, lease option, and contract for deed. All of it, man. Yeah, there is no majority. Well, I said majority is fix and flip, but I do contract for deed as well as lease option. Either one, I don't really care.
Okay. Acti 703 said is subject to Israel.
Any questions? Just read questions, buddy, so we can get out of here.
What state do you buy houses in?
I am generally speaking in the Virginia. I'm actually Virginia's premier house buyer right here in the Hampton Roads area in Tidewater, Virginia. So we buy in Norfolk, Newport News, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Hampton, Suffolk, Williamsburg, those areas.
Okay, Robert Morris.
Hey, Robert.
I have a potential creative finance deal.
Sweet.
I'm located in Osceola, Guy.
Osceola?
Yeah.
Osceola Guy? Oh, Georgia. That's GA's Georgia. Osceola, Georgia. We gotta know your state letters. So Georgia. Okay. If you need help with a deal, what's his name? Robert.
Yeah.
Just go to my website and click the consultation link, buddy. We're more than happy to help you book some time. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Round up. It has been an honor to hang out with you this evening. Don't stray and be leery of that 70% minus repairs type thing. Doesn't always work all the time. Give us a thumbs up. Share this stuff. Because I bump into people, and I'm thinking about myself when I started in 04, I was like, how the hell do you make money in real estate? How do you make money? The key to this thing, always buy below market value. Period. You got to buy below market value. You can't make any money paying $250, $260 for a house is worth $300 because fees are going to kill you. Let's say you pay $250 for this. If you try to resell it, you got $30,000 in fees, you're done. You're out of business. Okay. Golden rule of real estate.
Somebody said
Always buy below market value. Go, buddy.
Yumiko Bold said,
Yumiko.
how much do you budget for a slab leak?
A slab leak? Yumiko, I'm glad you asked that question. That is a phenomenal question. I don't necessarily worry about those because on the properties that I have slabs, I have what we call water line insurance. Water line insurance is where the company will insure the line from the meter to the house, right? So I don't really think about them, but you're going to pay some money. It's probably, man, back in the day, it was $2,500. You got to come, somebody has to come and cut that, pull back the floor and then cut the subfloor, cement out. It's probably going to be about $3,000 to $4,000, I would say. Yeah, they got to find it too. It's going to be a monster. Sorry to hear that. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Share this video roundup. I'll see you on the next one. Get registered for the subject to lease option 3-day virtual training. Peace.